It is extremely rare for me to come on here and call for someone to lose their job. I don't like telling people how to run their business. Plus, I just don't like seeing people lose their job. Oftentimes, when situations are made public, it's easy to be on the outside looking in and call for someone to be fired. You're in a period of heightened emotions. Someone maybe did or said something that you thought was egregious. Their status of employment has no effect on you personally. We don't know the backstory, how valuable or invaluable they are to the organization. It's easy for us to sit back and say, he should be fired. I try my best not to go down that path. There have been times when I'm covering Lovers of the Woke Wiener where I have been legitimately pissed off by what I see. Joy Reid, Keith Olbermann, Talbert the Swan, especially with the Swan. I don't know how anyone, white or black, could read through the filth on the Swan's Twitter feed and not experience feelings of rage. But I have never called for Joy Reid to be fired. I have never thought Keith Olbermann deserved to be unemployed. I would say the same for the Swan, but I couldn't find any record of him ever having a job. I cannot recall the last time I have been disgusted to the point where I have said someone deserved to be fired, someone should lose their job. But that is changing today because Ethan Hooper should be fired. Casey, who in the hell is Ethan Hooper? He is a paid propagandist, but he is the worst kind of paid propagandist. Joy Reid spews her hatred from a luxury studio in front of a television audience who, according to Don Lemon, are well past their prime. Average age of someone watching MSNBC, well over the age of 60. If you're a young man who is into older women, you will find plenty of them in the audience of MSNBC. But it's one thing to spread propaganda to the elderly. I might not like it, but people who enjoy being lied to by a talking wig, they are being lied to by choice. They are choosing to be entertained. They are choosing to be brainwashed by a collection of wigs. Completely different story when it comes to children. Kids, they don't choose to go to school. It's mandated. When you send your kid off to school, you have certain expectations. You expect the teacher to not only keep them safe physically, but also keep your child safe mentally. You expect the teacher to teach your child how to write, teach the multiplication tables, the periodic table. Hell, if time permits, maybe he teaches them how to properly balance an unbalanced table. As you guys know, there is only one way to properly balance a table. Put a copy of Jamel Hill's memoir under the broken leg. With Ron DeSantis passing legislation to prevent teachers from brainwashing children, if you're living in the state of Florida, you would figure your kids are pretty safe going to school. You send your kid off to school thinking they're learning reading, writing, and arithmetic instead of learning how Mrs. Turner suddenly grew a dick. Ethan Hooper is a 6th grade teacher at Howard Middle School in Orlando, Florida. Taxpayers in Florida, they pay Mr. Hooper monthly to teach the next generation English. When I saw these videos of a routine day in his class, videos that he proudly uploaded himself to social media, I was incredibly confused. For one, I could not believe someone responsible for teaching young minds could be this fucking stupid. And two, I'm struggling to draw the parallel between critical race theory and Black History Month and English. The only thing CRT has in common with English is that it's part of the language. It's located in the section titled Propaganda. Recently, Ron DeSantis passed a piece of legislation in Florida titled the Stop Woke Act. This bill banned certain types of books from being in school that taught critical race theory, mythical racism, Tran Dan travels to Japan, books of that nature. This bill was supported by an overwhelming majority of parents, but it was not supported by Ethan Hooper. Clearly, he spends his free time watching Andrea Mitchell on MSNBC. Casey, who in the hell is Andrea Mitchell? She is another female birthing person delaying the aging process through regular visits to Nancy Pelosi's surgeon. According to Andrea Mitchell, Ron DeSantis banned books in Florida that taught about slavery. Now, of course, this was complete bullshit. It was proven to be complete bullshit, but Ethan Hooper didn't get the memo. Earlier this week, he put together a nice little skit meant to entertain the handful of lonely men who follow him on social media. The video was mocking Ron DeSantis for not allowing adult-themed books to be in public school libraries in Florida. Watch it for yourself.
I'm about to run up on these kids and start banning these books right away.
Hey, what y'all reading? What y'all reading? Harry Potter? You reading Harry Potter? Oh, witchcraft. Gotta go. Hey. A black boy? No, absolutely not. What you reading? The Hate You Give? I'm gonna give you something to hate. This book's gone. Say goodbye. What you reading? I wonder how you feel once this book is gone. Say goodbye. What you reading? What in the, gotta go, class act. What is this class act? I'll show you a class act. This book, Say Goodbye. You, hey, what you reading? Holes. Digging up holes? I'm gonna dig up a hole and bury this book in it.
Were my ears playing tricks on me here? Or did I hear him say, digging up buttholes, I'm gonna bury this book in it? Anyway, this looked like a productive use of taxpayer dollars, taxpayer resources, right? A public school teacher brainwashing young minds while also using them as political pawns. Well, he wasn't using them as political pawns. Mr. Hooper, he was simply trying to inspire these young kids to pursue a career in Hollywood. Oh, that's what that was. So instead of teaching English, the subject he's paid to teach, he's now teaching theater. If that's the case, Howard Middle School, they would be better off hiring someone else because that was nothing but poorly produced garbage. But it gets even better. Oh, does it get even better? As you guys know, February is Black History Month. Now, us normal people, we celebrate Black history whenever the fuck we feel like it. The shit fucks, though, they set aside the entire month of February to recognize Black history. Once the calendar hits March 1st, they're back to celebrating any other color of the rainbow. Ethan Hooper chose a unique way to celebrate Black History Month. He didn't teach the kids about Booker T. Washington. He didn't assign book reports on influential people like Jackie Robinson who changed the culture of sports. Matter of fact, in a month set aside to honor Black history, Ethan Hooper, he didn't teach his class anything about Black history. Instead, he decided to alienate the white kids in class by having them worship their black peers. Little white children were fanning black kids, making sure they remained cool in the air-conditioned classroom. At one point, the children who chose to identify as children of color, they were sitting in their chairs while the white kids bowed to their knees and worshiped them. I'm not making this shit up. Watch it for yourself.
POV, a Florida classroom.
You know, I'm reading through several articles this afternoon, some from mainstream media outlets like the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the New York Post, others from local outlets in Orlando. Obviously, there are plenty of parents outraged about this bullshit, but there are a couple of parents coming to the defense of Ethan Hooper. Now, the mainstream media, they are framing this story like Ethan Hooper has overwhelming support from both students and parents. The AJC quoted one parent and student who supported him without mentioning the handful of other parents that were outraged. The student, she was quoted as saying, "We all agreed to do this. It was not Mr. Hooper's fault." Her mom echoed the same sentiment. I hate to say it, but Mom, you're part of the problem. For starters, this was Mr. Hooper's fault. There was one adult in that classroom. He is responsible for the direction of the class. The students, they're going to follow the lead of the teacher. Let me ask you this. Let's assume for a second Ethan Hooper's white. Let's assume for a second it was black children bowing to their knees to worship white children. What would be the reaction in the mainstream media? School would be shut down from all the Black Lives Matter protests. The video would be scrubbed from social media. They would classify it as harmful content. But when the roles are reversed, the media comes to the defense of the teacher. They are framing this story like Ethan Hooper is the fucking victim of a biased school system. They are bitching and complaining because the school district suspended him. To hell with a suspension, he should be fired. The Orange County School District, they issued a statement saying, "We are appalled at the actions of Mr. Hooper. He exploited our students for political reasons. This will not be tolerated. We have launched an investigation. I assure you, we will get to the bottom of this." Investigation? Investigation? If a white teacher was forcing black children to worship white students, there would be no investigation. It would be a public castration of his character, and rightfully so. The only thing students should be worshiping is the God of their choosing. They should not be forced or feel forced to worship each other. There is no investigation needed here. The dude uploaded the video evidence himself. The only reason the Orange County School District didn't fire Ethan Hooper is because they were afraid of the media backlash. They were afraid to fire someone who belongs to a marginalized group. Now you tell me, which groups have privilege in this country? Ethan Hooper should be fired, and he should lose his license to teach. This dude has absolutely no business teaching young children. If he wants to teach politics, if he wants to teach critical race theory, give his ass a job at the university level. That shit does not belong in public schools. I don't pay taxes for kids to be brainwashed. But give me your thoughts. Should Ethan Hooper be fired over these videos? Does this dude have any business teaching young kids? You let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.